Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
The moment I laid eyes on the costume, my heart sank. It was a frilly, pink maid outfit, complete with a short skirt, lacy apron, and a ridiculous headband that looked like it belonged on a 5-year-old's doll. I knew immediately that my son, Alex, had something planned. He'd always been a bit of a prankster, but this seemed a bit over the top, even for him. As it turned out, Alex had somehow convinced me to dress up as his personal sissy maid for the weekend. He claimed it was just a joke, something to make him and his friends laugh. But the more I thought about it, the more I began to realize that maybe there was more to it than that. Maybe this was his way of trying to teach me a lesson about responsibility or appreciation or something like that. Regardless of the reason, there was no denying that I was now standing here, in my son's bedroom, dressed up like some sort of ridiculous servant girl. I glanced around at the mess that surrounded me. Empty beer cans, pizza boxes, and scattered clothing were everywhere. The room reeked of stale beer and sweat. It was going to take me a while to clean this up, but I supposed I had no choice. As I set to work, sweeping and dusting and picking up after my son and his friends, I couldn't help but feel a strange sense of satisfaction. Despite the humiliation of my outfit and the tasks I was performing, there was something oddly gratifying about knowing that I was helping my son and his friends enjoy their weekend. It was almost as if this experience was teaching me something about myself, about the importance of being there for the people you care about. Of course, there were still moments when I would catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, dressed up in my frilly pink maid outfit, and feel a stab of embarrassment. But I tried my best to push those thoughts aside and focus on the task at hand. I didn't want to ruin the weekend for Alex and his friends by making a big deal out of this. As the hours passed and the cleaning progressed, I found myself growing more accustomed to my new role. The maid uniform wasn't nearly as uncomfortable as I'd thought it would be, and the tasks I was performing weren't as demeaning as they seemed at first. In fact, I found myself enjoying the sense of purpose and responsibility that came with taking care of everyone else. Maybe Alex was onto something after all. Just as I was about to take a short break, I heard a knock on the door. It was Alex, back from whatever he'd been doing with his friends. He seemed surprised to see me still hard at work. "Oh, hey Dad," he said, his voice betraying a hint of amusement. "I didn't think you'd actually stick with it." I couldn't help but smile back at him. "Well," I said, adjusting my headband, "I told you I'd take care of you, didn't I?" He grinned back at me, and for a brief moment, it felt like we were back to being father and son again. We chatted for a while, about nothing important really, just catching up and enjoying each other's company. As the evening progressed, I noticed that Alex was more relaxed and at ease than he had been all day. It was almost as if this whole thing had been a weight off his shoulders. Maybe he really did need his old man around sometimes. The next morning, I woke up early, already dressed in my maid outfit and ready to start another day of serving my son and his friends. I was surprised to find that I didn't feel nearly as self-conscious as I had the night before. In fact, there was a strange sense of accomplishment that came with knowing that I had helped to make their weekend special. As I went about my morning routine, I couldn't help but reflect on the events of the past 24 hours. Alex had been right. This had been a learning experience for both of us. He had taught me that sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone in order to appreciate the people and things that really matter. And I had taught him, or at least I hoped I had, that sometimes all you need is a little help from your old man. Later that afternoon, as the last of his friends left and Alex began to pack up, he came up to me and put a hand on my shoulder. "Thanks, Dad," he said, looking me in the eye. "I really appreciate everything you've done this weekend. It meant more than you'll ever know." I smiled back at him, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. No problem, son, I said. Anytime. And as we shared that moment together, I couldn't help but think that maybe, just maybe, this whole Sissy maid thing wasn't so bad after all.